This is WCM's Park Update, a weekly show covering the outdoor hospitality industry, hosted by Ben Quiggle and Mike Gast. During each episode, you'll hear from special guests and campground experts on topics that will help your park flourish. WCM's Park Update is a production of Woodall's Campground Magazine.
Hi, I'm Ben Quiggle, and welcome to another episode of WCM's Park Update. I'm editor of Woodall's Campground Magazine, and of course, my esteemed colleague, Mike Gast, former vice president of communications at Campgrounds of America, is here. And we are going to be talking about the National Association of RV Parks and Campgrounds Outdoor Hospitality Conference and Expo in Orlando, Florida. That's a long title, but we have
it's a mouthful.
But we have with us David Bassler, Vice President of Membership and Marketing with ARVC, and Susan Motley, who is Vice President, Director of Education, Director of the ARVC Foundation. She does like a number of different things, just like David does. So we're happy to have them here. And I'm just really excited about the Orlando conference. It's going to be great. We were talking.
We are too.
Yeah, we've spoken with Campgrounds of America, who's going to be sharing virtually the same convention center as you guys a week later. So there's
Ben, are you moving down there for a month or something?
I don't know, but there's a potential. It sounds like there's going to be a ton of people coming down for both conferences. So it's an opportunity to see a lot of people, maybe people haven't seen for a while.
Yeah, I think so. And certainly having the conference, and we call it OHCE for short, so you don't have to say that every time. I think that having it in Orlando and a resort destination gives it a little bit of a different vibe, maybe. It's definitely a family destination. It's a self-contained destination. So you have everybody right there, all in the Rosen Center Hotel, and you just walk right over to the Orange County Convention Center. So it's a nice compact location. And then you've got all the assets that Universal and all the other theme parks bring, to the experience. So it's really an exciting place to hold a conference.
And you're bringing the puppies back. So that's important. You wouldn't believe how many people asked me last year about if they had any puppies. And I know you guys weren't able to do it, but you did it in 2019, and I think people loved it. And you're able to bring those back, I guess.
Leading off with the puppies. That's the important part. Everybody loves the important part. Everybody loves puppies.
You think everybody's been asking you that for the last
I know.
Oh my goodness. We can just say we have puppies. Come on. That's it, right?
Yeah. Yes, we are partnering this year with the Orlando area animal shelter, and they are bringing puppies. They're going to be there twice, once on Tuesday, once on Thursday. So in the Rosen during the education sessions, in between sessions, and then again on Thursday during the expo. Yeah. So it'll be popular, and it's sponsored this year by RV Share, our partners at RV Share.
So attendees should come prepared to take a puppy home. Is that the deal?
They can actually. That's the beauty of the event. It's not only to put smiles on faces, but if they drove and want to take a puppy home, it is an adoption event. So they can come for the fun and leave with a puppy.
So 2019 was in Knoxville, right?
Yes.
I right? Correct. Okay.
Correct.
You guys had the puppy cuddling then? Didn't some people take some home from there or not?
Yeah, I believe we adopted 3 puppies from that event. Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. Yep. So and the theme
I personally would have adopted 9 of them, but I would have probably been divorced when I got home. But
well, you think like my wife, she likes animals too. So we had cats. Dogs, it's a goat, not a goat. We got ducks, chickens. We want to get a goat, but anyways, that's not what we're here to talk about. So the theme of this year's conference is possibilities start here. So Susan, I guess, what does that mean? What are you trying to capture with that theme?
So that's kind of an improv line from anybody who's ever studied improv or read about improv or watched it on TV. David had a line on a keynote speaker that he had worked with before, and she uses improvisational techniques in her opening general session to get everybody thinking about what if and what are the possibilities. So that's kind of what spurred us on to have that as a theme. And in addition to when you're thinking about the possibilities, you're thinking about the future, right? I mean, it's
Yeah.
really important in the here and now to know what's going on in the industry. But sometimes I think a good use of our time at the conference when we can step away from the day-to-day business is to look at the future and look at what is coming down the pike at us and be prepared to take advantage of opportunities or to revise the way we might be doing things to accommodate new innovations like electric vehicles. So that's kind of how that whole team ties together.
Yeah, I mean, it's been an exciting time for the industry as a whole. And I mean, there's been a lot of new things. I know you guys are going to be talking about like new technology, electric vehicles. You guys had that EV panel last year, and you guys are bringing that back for this year, right?
We're bringing it back in a little different iteration. David, do you want to speak to who was selected to be on the panel and kind of how that's going to roll?
Yeah, I'd love to. So last year, it was kind of an introductory last year to the electric vehicle situation that we're all, going to be faced with here in the next year or more. And it was kind of focused on innovations, which honestly has changed, just like with everything else in the technology world, from social media on, changes on a daily basis. So our CEO, Paul, is doing a panel that's kind of a update on those technologies. Since we met last in Raleigh, for instance, Winnebago has actually come out with a ERV that they are getting ready to put out on the market for campers to purchase in the next year, I think. And they did a test run from DC to Minnesota back in June. And so there's going to be a representative from Winnebago on that panel, along with a number of other great panelists. One of is an e-bike company and some state-specific electric vehicle experts. And then I'm doing a panel right after that that really takes that innovation and the kind of future-focused piece of it to today's reality. And their campgrounds, as our friend Jeff Sims often says, no two campgrounds are alike. And so what we're doing is putting an EV toolkit together with the help of a number of industry experts to help campgrounds of all shapes and sizes assess their situation at their campground and determine if this is something that I want to do. I want to bring EVs to my campground, or I want to entice EVs to come to my campground, and I want to take it small. I want to take small steps at the beginning, or I want to take large steps, everything in between. This toolkit is going to help them do that, answer their questions, point them in the right direction, help them make decisions. So we're going to be introducing that toolkit at that panel, and having a lot of those experts, those subject matter experts on that panel to talk about their experiences and how they can help campgrounds get there. So
they're kind of the way that I look at that from the possibilities point of view is think about when the internet and the Wi-Fi, first came on to the scene, and it went from almost being an amenity to critical infrastructure, right?
Yep.
And is that what is going to happen with the EVs? I don't think we really know in terms of what campground and RV parks might experience in that realm, but we want people to be thinking about it as it becomes part of the national infrastructure. Are we prepared, and do you have a role in it? Do you want to have a role in it? And if you do, here are the tools, to help you do that.
Yeah.
So another topic out there that every campground owner is struggling with immediately is staffing. And you guys have some plans on helping them out with that?
Yes, we have two of ARVC's most qualified subject matter experts who are giving a session on that. That would be Marcia Galvin from Normandy Farms. She has, multiple certifications in HR and has taught the subject at national school over the years and has led many seminar on that. So she and Kitty Winship who is new to the ARVC board, who runs a smaller campground than Normandy Farms. I think she's probably in the mid-sized campground. So they're going to do a panel on and one of the things they're really going to cover is sourcing, right? Like, how do you find employees? There are a lot of tools out there, even Google, that campground owners and operators have at their fingertips to source employees that they might not be looking at, in addition to some of the other more traditional methods. And then we go right from that into Cracker Barrel sessions. And one of the Cracker Barrel sessions is going to be led by Chris Jump, who runs one of our smaller campgrounds, but a national ARVC award winner nonetheless, just to see what the zeitgeist is and to see what is everybody experiencing out there with hiring and staffing. And then we have, Christine Taylor, employment lawyer, keeping it legal for us. We have another HR specialist talking about how onboarding and orientation aren't the same thing. That's a retention strategy. So we're kind of coming at it from all angles.
And then you guys oh, go ahead, David.
Oh, Ben, I just want to clarify something because, I travel around the country talking to campgrounds all the time. And one thing that I have found over the years is not everybody knows what a Cracker Barrel is. It's an industry term that we've come up with. So I want to clarify that piece. A Cracker Barrel is a roundtable discusussion, for lack of better terms. It's an opportunity there's a moderator at each of these Cracker Barrels that we put on. And there's usually, 100+ people in each one. And it's an opportunity to just have a roundtable discussion and share best practices, share ideas. It's a great opportunity to network with other campground owners that have similar issues that they're dealing with, or in many cases have dealt with that issue that you're dealing with, that you can take ideas from them back to your campground and have those solutions. So I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah, it's not actually going to the restaurant. So
not actually going to the restaurant. That's right.
So you guys are also doing master classes this year. I think you mentioned, Susan, there's 2 of them. One on discovering talents with strength finders with Donna Gardner. The other one, Jim Schnurbush.
There you go. You got it.
I got it. There you go. See, I can pronounce things right every once in a while.
We'll ask you to spell it later. Close your eyes and spell it.
SCHNURBUSCH. I got it right.
You would be impressed. Yeah.
So I was cheating. So it was storytelling. He's going to be focused on storytelling. That's kind of neat. I guess the first master class is like they have to pay for, right? And then
that's an add-on on Monday. And the reason that we did that was because we found out some people do travel in on Monday. Not all of them get there early enough to go on the takeaway tours. Not everybody's coming to do POW. So we thought, okay, for people who fly in on Monday, might get there around lunchtime, it would be a fun thing to have to kick off in the afternoon on Monday. And it's also a very fun thing to do as a team. Our team at ARVC did Strengths Finders, and it's just amazing to be in a professional development program that isn't there to tell you what your weaknesses are and how you can fix those, but instead it takes the approach of here's what your strengths are and here's how your strengths can help the team. So I know already a couple of teams have signed up to take it together, and I think that's a great professional development tool. Jim Schnurbush is a masterclass that we added for marketing. As you might imagine, offering what I call stratified content is always a challenge, right? We have campground RV park owners and operators at all levels, right? We have prospective owners, dreaming owners, new owners, all the way up to very experienced owners. So we were targeting this marketing masterclass for people who have more experience and who want to up their marketing game. And part of what they do if they sign up to take the course, and there's no added fee for that, they have to agree to a little homework, and that is they're going to bring their printed materials and they're going to consent to have their marketing materials reviewed by Jim before he comes in. And then you're going to kind of partner up, give each other some feedback. And Jim is going to, I've already seen his presentation. It's really good. He's going to walk you through how to make sure the story that you want to tell about your RV park or campground is reflected in your materials, right? Because if I can see your story, I can put myself in your story. And that's the purpose of that.
So do you guys track how many new owners you have coming to the convention this year? It sounds like you've got a lot of content for that.
We always do. And, that's why we have the prospective owners workshop before. Do you remember, David, last year, how many new owners? I think it was something like 30% we had last year. It was definitely
Sounds right.
a high number. Yeah.
That sounds
But
right. Yep.
we also think that might have been due to COVID. COVID gave people a couple of years to dream about what they might really want to do when they grow up, right? And so, and a lot of those people have transitioned into ARVC as members. So there are a lot of new owners out there.
Well, I mean, when you want
There's a lot of transition in the industry right now too. Parks
Mhm.
selling to new ownership, and so that accounts for some of it too.
Well, when you want to relax and retire, you buy a campground. That's
Exactly.
what you do. It's a relaxing.
Yeah.
It's
The
a
problem is
relaxing-
we know
late
too much
life
by this
period.
point.
Do you hear the reverberating laughter out there in San Francisco of all the campground
Yeah.
owners watching this? Yeah.
I'm going to be using my RV when I retire at campground.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That I don't own. Yes.
Well, it's time to take a short break. We got to thank our sponsor. We'll be back here in a few seconds. WCM's Park Update is being brought to you by Woodall's Campground Magazine. For over 5 decades, Woodall's Campground Magazine has aimed to provide park owners and operators with the relevant industry news they need to run their businesses more efficiently. As times have changed, so has Woodall's Campground Magazine. Besides just its print publication, which is distributed to more than 14,000 industry professionals every month, the magazine also reaches readers through its various social media platforms, including Facebook at WCM, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Woodall's Campground Magazine also offers a daily e-blast which highlights the top news from the industry. The best part, everything we do is advertiser supported and free to our readers. As the outdoor hospitality industry continues to grow at a rapid pace, it is important to stay up to date on trends and other relevant news. Subscribe to Woodall's Campground Magazine at woodallscm.com. Welcome back, and this is part 2 of our interview with ARVC about their OHCE, which is happening in early November in Orlando, Florida, November 7th through the 10th to be exact. And we started to interview a little backwards because we started with the puppies, then the education, but we never actually talked about like the first day, November 7th, where you have like the prospective owners workshops. You guys are doing 4 takeaway tours to 4 parks in the Orlando area. And then the master class is part of that. And then you guys are also doing the welcome reception at Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville at Universal City Walk, which has an 80s theme. So I guess, David, what are you going to be dressed up as for the 80s theme welcome reception?
I'm not telling. You got to show up to find out.
So,
I'm not that easy.
but you guys are going to have like famous people walking through, right?
We are. It's going to be a fun event that both of them are going to be really fun. On Monday, we have 4 sponsors to that reception, and there's the way that Margaritaville venue is set up is that there are like different pockets within the venue. And so each sponsor is going to be in a specific area of the venue doing something fun. And we've got a treasure map that you can go throughout the venue and get stamped by each vendor to win some prizes, each sponsor to win some prizes. That's going to be fun. If, whether you're a fan of Jimmy Buffett or not, it's fun. And we're suggesting everybody wear their favorite Jimmy Buffett gear if they have it. I personally am going to be wearing a concert t-shirt from 1998 that I was at in Cincinnati, Ohio.
That
on
sounds old to you,
Tuesday-
David, but that's not old at all. So
Well, I have a
No.
slightly older concert t-shirt that I will be wearing. We just will not say the year.
Original Woodstock.
Yeah.
I mentioned the year mainly because I'm impressed that I can fit into it still. The Tuesday reception is going to be fun as well, and like you said, we're going to have some famous people walking around. We've got the Time Machine DeLorean from the Back to the Future movie series that's going to be there for people to sit in and take pictures. We got an 80s band going to be playing some music. We've got just a lot of fun, and every staff member of ARVC is going to be dressed like something, so that even Paul is going to be dressed up. So everybody should come dressed in their fun 80s attire for that one too. So
I don't know if I have any 80s attire.
You could just go on Amazon. You can go on
thrift
Etsy.
store.
You just have to be creative. Not a problem.
just
You don't have to.
You
You
don't
don't
have,
have to either.
Sherman
Outrageous.
Goldberg
totally
will set
optional.
you up.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
One of the other neat things you guys are doing this year is the new kids camp and teen STEM camps, which you guys are offering, which kind of makes sense because I imagine there's going to be a ton of families coming down and they're going to want something for their kids to do. And you guys are also like discounting in registration prices for teens who want to stick with their parents but go to the conference sessions, right?
right? Well, and it turns
Yeah.
out majority rules that the people who are bringing their kids wanted their kids to attend the conference. So we postpone offering the kids camp or the STEAM camp as part of a group activity. People can do that on the STEAM camp on their own if they wanted to, but it turns out that people are bringing their kids. They want them to attend the conference. So
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, you guys had who are you working with for the kids camp and the teen camps, I guess?
well, Kids Camp is a national company, so anywhere you go and have a conference, you can use them. So we'll try this out again next year when we're in Kansas City and see if there's a demand for it. But it just wasn't a demand for it this year, like I said, because we introduced the conference rate. People want their kids to experience the conference, but we have information on the website if they want to contact the STEAM camp directly. It's just within a couple of blocks of the hotel, and they're happy to accommodate that.
So what are
Okay.
your numbers looking like? How's registration going?
It's really good. Yeah, and which we attribute largely to not only the great content, obviously, but also the Orlando area. Contrary to what people might be seeing on the news or thinking, the Orlando area, especially the convention center area and the hotel, were not affected by Hurricane Ian, which was good for them. Obviously, there are a lot of people across the state of Florida who have major damage. And I want to do a quick plug off topic, quick plug on that front for the ARVC Foundation, because people who have been affected by Ian have the ability to get some help through the Disaster Relief Fund from the ARVC Foundation. But yeah, the numbers are looking great in terms of comparison to Raleigh. Right now we're trending slightly higher than we were in Raleigh, so we're happy. It's going to be great. And the other number that we're happy with is the expo. We've got the largest expo we've ever had. So
I think you told me like a month ago, more than 170 vendors. Has that number ticked up from then?
That's what we when we sell out the floor, that's what we're going to be right around is that number. But right now we're sitting at 130, I believe, as of this morning. So there's still some spaces, or is it 140? There's still some spaces available that will undoubtedly, it seems like we always, that last month, we always pick up a whole bunch of expo spaces.
And lots of park models coming this year, right?
Yeah, that's an awesome piece of the expo. Last year with the supply chain issues and whatnot, the park models weren't able to come, and this year we have more than we've ever had. We've got eight park models, I believe it is. We've got a number of other what I would call the glamping accommodations, safari tents, and wagons, and all sorts of cool things.
Between that and the puppies, it makes for a really engaging trade show experience.
That's right.
So
That's
how
right.
do people get signed up if you haven't done it yet? What's the easiest way to get signed up?
Easiest way is to go to the website, arvc.org/OHCE. And you can sign up you can see the schedule there, you can sign up there, and you can also sign up as a hosted buyer, which we haven't talked about either, which if you're a decision maker at your park and you're coming to the show and you're going to walk around the expo floor and meet with exhibitors already, signing up as a hosted buyer is the perfect way to do it, because you actually have a VIP lounge on Tuesday ahead of the expo where you can meet one-on-one with exhibitors of your choosing. You create the schedule and you meet with 6 of those, and we give you your registration fee back. So it saves you $500. You basically come to the show for free at that point. So
Great idea.
yeah. It's wildly popular with everybody who's ever ever participated in it. This is the third year that we've done it, and it's grown every single year in popularity. So
Yeah, it was something. Yeah, I mean, last year you guys had like specific areas for the meetings to take place. Are there any changes to that program? Do they still have like a VIP area to meet with these people and different things?
Yeah,
it's
maybe
in
a
a
little more structured, right? Because we have a little more space. Yeah.
yeah. Last year we had a little bit of, it was the first year doing it in person. The first year that we did it, it was virtual. Second year was our first year in person. We learned a lot. The first thing that we learned was we didn't have adequate signage for where people were supposed to meet their vendor. So this year, each vendor is going to have their own table. It's going to be numbered and labeled clearly so that the hosted buyer knows that at 4:00 they're meeting with such and such exhibitor at table 14. They know exactly where to go. The exhibitor will be there waiting for them. They have a 20-minute conversation, and it can carry over to the expo on Wednesday or Thursday. At that point, it's an opportunity to get introduced and take all of the BS, if you will, out of the equation, right? It's just an opportunity to have a one-on-one conversation. And it's also fun because it's a VIP area. We've got massage chairs. We've got caricature artists coming. We've got food and a bar area, some comfy furniture for people to sit in and recharge. So it's just a great experience.
Speed dating for campground owners then.
Yeah, it's one of those things where we get the fact that at the end of a summer season, these guys need a chair massage.
Yep.
They need a beer and a chair massage. Right?
I don't know why. I thought these guys just sat around campfires all summer. So
again, the laughter.
The other thing you guys will be highlighting during the conference is you'll have your generational camping report, which I believe is the second annual. And then you'll also be talking about your trends and insights report, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, more on the generational camping report than the trends and insights. We're switching up the trends and insights a little bit this year and splitting it into two surveys for a lot of different reasons. But one was the time that it took to take the survey. It was a long survey, so able to shorten the survey and get more people engaged with it, but also be able to spread our research out and pull the kind of benchmarking data out from the trends data and do two separate research reports. So we're going to be focused at OHCE primarily on the generational camping report. And we're going to do a panel on that as well, like we did last year. That's going to be able to not only announce this year's data, but also compare it in some ways to last year's data. So.
Yeah. So, and then you guys have other like networking events at different times, right? There's different people who are hosting different networking events, I guess.
Yeah, the young professionals host their own networking event and their own business meeting where they set their goals for the upcoming years. We have the group 20s do the same thing. And this year we're also adding a networking event for people who are interested in coming to the George O'Leary National School. This is the 30th anniversary of the National School. And over the last 30 years, 2,000 leaders in outdoor hospitality have graduated from the National School. So we'll be recognizing people who've been affiliated with the school at our awards luncheon. And then Tuesday night after our poolside reception, we'll have a hospitality suite for alumni to gather in, and anyone who's interested maybe in coming to National School, but wants to know a little more about it. It's kind of like holding office hours like you did in college for people to come and learn a little bit more. And then, we have 25 scholarships, thanks to Mr. O'Leary, that we can award this year to the National School. That includes a travel stipend. So we want to make sure people know about that, and that, nobody has a barrier to attending the school.
And the deadline for that's not until mid-November, right, Susan?
Right.
So people can come to this reception and learn about what it's all about, and then go home and fill out their scholarship application.
Yep.
Yeah. And then you guys always do, you guys have an annual meeting you guys do, and you also host elections. I think we've posted, there's a couple of different areas that have elections going on. And I think the young professionals have an election going on too. Maybe that's going on right now. But so just a lot of different things. I mean, I always enjoy coming to ARVC because ARVC's OHCE because I mean, you just get to meet so many different campground owners from around the country. You guys offer a ton of educational opportunities. It's just a great way to get connected and stay up on like the trends and what's going on in the industry.
Well,
So,
and thanks to our members, the energy's good, right?
Yeah,
The vibe's
yep.
fun. It's nice. I mean, these are people in hospitality. You're
Yep.
not going to be bored. You're not going to be looking for something to do.
There's never a shortage of fun, that's for sure.
And then Orlando's just a great area. And hopefully the weather's great. So it should be a lot of fun. But I think that's about all the time we have. So Mike, is there anything else you wanted to ask, or are you good?
No, I think we've covered all these conferences so good, and I think it's such an interesting time for the industry. It's so dynamic right now. There's so much going on. There's so much new blood coming in. There's probably never been a need for these organizations more than now, because we've got so many people coming into it with resources that really don't know where to point them. So I think it's a great opportunity for folks to really hit the ground running when they take over a park.
We hope so. We hope to see you guys
We
there.
agree. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, maybe next year. They won't let me off the island until December, so I got to wait a little bit.
He's suffering. He's suffering in Hawaii. So
No problem.
but well, it was great talking to both you, both
Thanks for
Susan
having
and
us.
David. And thanks everyone for watching. Have a great rest of the week.
All right, you
Thanks,
too.
guys.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys. See you in Orlando.
Thank you for listening to WCM's Park Update, a production of Woodall's Campground Magazine. Join us for a new show each Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern on Facebook, YouTube, and wherever you listen to podcasts. Follow us on Facebook and LinkedIn for daily news and updates, and subscribe to our news feed on our website at woodallscm.com. Show hosts are Ben Quiggle and Mike Gast. Executive producers Rick Kessler and Alex Burkett. Copyright 2022, G&G Media Group.